Welcome everybody to this edition of my video channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This time around I would like to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about sound financial planning and the basics about this. I get asked this question a lot by my clients as well as my prospect, and the question is, Mark, can you tell me a little bit about the methodology that you use when you generate the financial plans for me or for all of your other clients, etc. So typically what happens during that discussion when I sit down with my clients first is we go through a very thorough analysis of my clients' overall financial aspirations, the life goals, as well as the overall life dreams. And equipped with that background information, my team and I, we go back to the drawing board and we do a little bit of analysis and we come up with a plan. And this financial plan, the building of that financial plan, I actually equate to the building of a pyramid. Now, as we all know, the base layer of a pyramid is most important when it comes to giving overall stability to the entire structure of the pyramid. The same thing as in real life is actually exactly the same with the overall financial plan. In the base layer of the pyramid here, you will find protection, and the protection needs are by far the most important in order to make sure that the overall life goals, the life dreams, and the financial aspirations can be achieved according to plan. Now, within the protection itself, the needs are ultimately driven by the socio-demographics of my client that he finds himself in. A single client, no dependents, not married, it will be good enough to just have a level of health insurance and also critical illness insurance. That means, against cancer, stroke, heart attack, as well as long-term care insurance. The situation is fundamentally different when I'm talking about a single breadwinner who is married with dependents, like with children. Now, there we need to delve in a little bit deeper, because besides all of the insurance needs with regards to hospitalization, with regards to health insurance and critical illness, now we also need to make sure that in case, God forbid, the worst were to happen to the sole breadwinner, that the dependents can be adequately protected so that their overall life goals, life dreams, and financial aspirations can still be fulfilled according to the laid out plan. Once we have addressed the base layer of the pyramid, we are moving one layer up. It's a little less important compared to the base layer, but for the overall structure of the pyramid and also of the financial plan, they are still of significant importance. In this second layer of the pyramid, you will find three items that we will need to address. One of it is emergency cash. The second item is property, and typically attached a mortgage to a property. And the third item in this layer of the pyramid is long-term savings. I actually mandate from all of my clients that they carry 3 to 6 months of monthly living expenses in cash. That could be in a checking account, it can be in a savings account, or it can also be in a money market account. The reason why we would want to have 3 to 6 months of emergency cash on hand is, first of all, that you are still able to pay all of your bills during times when you are in between jobs, you are changing careers, etc. So doing short-term times where there's a disruption in your monthly paycheck. The second thing why we should have 3 to 6 months of monthly burn rate in cash is we want to make sure that during those times we can still service all of the insurance policies that we have put into place when we had addressed the base layer in our first step. Now, the second item in the second layer of the pyramid is property, and also literally with any property purchase, in most cases there's always a mortgage attached to it. Now, regarding the mortgage, it is of utmost importance that you don't find yourself in a situation where you are over leveraged, where you basically are worn down by your debt that you carry. As such, for owner-occupiers, it is important to look at the overall cash flow before signing on the dotted line when getting the mortgage when buying the property. For rental properties, there is an additional, let's say, item that we need to address, and that is the considerations about gross and net rental yield. Moving on to the third item within this layer, and that is long-term savings. Long-term in this regard is anything that is longer than 10 years ahead in the future on the time horizon perspective. Typically, it is your retirement needs as well as longer-term needs that need to be saved towards. Moving one layer up, we find medium-term savings and short-term savings. Medium-term savings is anything between 3 to 7 years, and that is typically things like tertiary education for the children, or also expensive hobbies like you want to buy a boat or major renovations to your house, major extensions, etc. Moving to the next item within that layer here is short-term savings. Short-term in this respect is anything between 1 to 3 years. What we typically find in this goal are things like your annual vacation or even the dream vacation that you always wanted to take, which you save towards over a time frame of, let's say 3 years, or also like electrical appliances for your house, or also the second family car, a used car, things like this. Only after we have addressed each and every single one of these sections of the pyramid, then and only then, if there's still additional budget left over, will I allow my clients to enter the very top, the pinnacle of the pyramid, which is adequately labeled speculation. Within speculation, that could entail things like, investments into leveraged commodity funds, into hedge funds, or like, very, let's say, sort of, relatively high risk, but also high growth funds. But as already said and discussed, this can only be addressed after all of the other goals have been adequately dealt with and there's still excess budget. Then and only then will I allow my clients to enter the top of the pyramid. Thank you so much for your time and for your attention. I really hope that this was helpful, and I am looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.